The Bandidos rule the roads in the U.S. and stretch across the globe from Europe to Asia and Australia. San Antonio, Texas, hub of the gang's activity. The cultural gateway of the Southwest. Its landmarks include the Alamo, Hemisphere Tower, and the Riverwalk.
San Antonio is the baddest chapter in the nation. We always stuck tight together. We left together, we arrived together. We're always the largest chapter.
Bill, who asked to have his identity concealed, is in hiding from the cops. He fears his former gang. A U.S. Army veteran, he was drawn by the outlaw image and brotherhood of the Bandidos.
The bandits have been known to go into a bar, pull somebody out of the bar, or go into a bar and shoot people. If you with one, you with everybody. If you cut one, they all bleed.
And Winterhalter is also an Army vet. At age 14, he saw dozens of Harleys ride up to a carnival. From that moment on, Ed wanted to be a biker.
I knew then and there that's what I wanted to be, and that's what I was. It's something that's born into you, to be a biker.
While 99% of bikers are law-abiding citizens, Ed and Bill wore badges of honor, showing their allegiance to the other 1%. One percenters thrive off their lawless reputation.
I think that's all the Bandito lifestyle is about, is criminal activity. There's no other reason to join up with an organization like that.
They want to feel like they can do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, and that society can't tell them what to do, the cops can't tell them what to do.
While some Bandidos are law-abiding citizens, to the public, the 1% patch means trouble. For Richard Merla, a former high-ranking Bandito, riding with the gang was a lifelong dream. The patch was the most important thing in his life.
I've been in the inner circle. I've been in the circle, man. People are scared just because of the patch.
August 16th, 2004. Richard Merla and two others were hanging out behind this San Antonio house. Robert Quiroga, a former world championship boxer and one of Merla's friends, was also there.
Robert Quiroga was a local hero. He was San Antonio's first world champion boxer. He was very highly respected. He worked in the community.
Everybody in San Antonio knew him. He was well liked. People knew him for having fought his way out of, essentially a tough part of San Antonio.
It was around 3 a.m., and after shutting down a local strip club, the friends were working their way through a case of beer. Their judgments were impaired when Quiroga decided to dredge up an old incident.
As the story goes, Merla apparently stole a Scarface movie poster from the house of a friend of boxer Robert Quiroga's.
Merla says he stole the poster because the gang had long ago dubbed him Scarface, a reference to the mark on his face.
That was my nickname they gave me. My brother gave me that name. And so we're at this guy's house drinking, and he had a Scarface poster up there. And just for the hell of it, I said, you can't have that picture in your house. That's me. That's mine.
This wasn't the first time Quiroga mentioned the Scarface incident. But on this particular night, he wouldn't let it go.
They were high and drunk and got into an argument about the Scarface poster. So Quiroga basically confronted Merla about it, and Merla wasn't going to have it.
Quiroga challenged him in front of a Bandito. To Merla, it was an inexcusable insult.
Disrespect a brother in front of another brother, you automatically react. This was a childhood friend. and a friend of the Bandidos. But that night he let the alcohol take control, and I gave him 2 chances to leave.
Quiroga wouldn't go, so Myrla did. When Quiroga left the backyard a few minutes later, tragically, Myrla was waiting.
That's when the other 2 guys heard him yell, "No, no, no." And they looked out and they saw Myrla. It looked like he was punching him, but he had a knife in his hand. And so it looked like he was punching him, but he was really stabbing him.
It was a fist fight till the knife came out. I got cut here and I got cut here. Didn't even know I was cut. And I just overpowered him and took the knife and used his own weapon on him.
Myrla fled the scene, not knowing whether the boxer was alive or dead. But he knew one thing. He had taught Quiroga a lesson.
Ain't nobody supposed to disrespect a brother.
Being one of the brothers was Myrla's goal since an early age, when he first saw the Bandidos in his hometown.
I always used to see him running, riding around San Antonio. I always wanted to be one,
Myrla came from a large Catholic family. He was athletic growing up, playing baseball, basketball, and soccer. He credits his father with raising good, solid children.
It just so happened to be that out of all the kids, I was the black sheep of the family. I just took the wrong direction, and ever since then, I just been in and out of jail and prison.
In 1983, Myrla, then 17, shot and killed the stepfather of his pregnant girlfriend. He said he was defending her from abuse. Myrla was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and given 5 years probation. A string of arrests followed for everything from assault to drug possession and drunk driving. He ended up serving 4.5 years in prison. In 1997, Myrla had just been released when a member of the Bandidos asked if he'd like to join.
I said, no, I just got out of the penitentiary. I've been taking orders for the last 5 years. I'm not ready to take orders as a prospect into the Bandidos.
The lure of a renegade lifestyle proved too tempting. Myrla bought a Harley and became a Bandito. He was quickly drawn into the Brotherhood and its FTW attitude. It's an attitude that extended even to friends like Robert Quiroga.
One thing you don't do is you don't disrespect a bandito, or you don't talk back to them, because they'll let you have it.
You mess with Scarface, you gonna pay.
The Bandidos, an outlaw motorcycle gang, travel in packs. Though some are law-abiding citizens, they live like they're above the law. Their legend precedes them.
When you're dealing with them, be aware of what they do, that they carry weapons, that they sell drugs, that they steal motorcycles, that they assault and even kill people.
From the beginning, it was clear. Cross the Bandidos at your own expense. It was 1966, and Donald Chambers, a Marine veteran, had returned from Vietnam. He came up with the idea of putting together a group of men who shared a common interest: their bikes and living on the edge.
Just to get together people that all like one thing, like a bowling club or anything else. In our case, it's motorcycles.
The group quickly developed an outlook on life and the way a biker should live it.
We like to tell people that the club was not in the business. You weren't supposed to give anybody any. You weren't supposed to take any from anybody.
The Bandidos were following in the footsteps of other big biker gangs through the years. In the 1930s, the Outlaws dominated Illinois. In the 1940s, the Hells Angels roared into existence in California. In the late 1950s, the Pagans arrived on the scene in Maryland. The 1960s became the Bandidos era, and they claimed Texas as their home turf. Chambers began to create an image for the gang. According to popular legend, he adopted the red and gold colors from the Marine Corps. The gang's name and mascot, Frito Bandido, were supposedly stolen from the corn chips that are still popular today. Ed Winterhalter, who was a member of the Bandidos for 7 years, says that's fiction. The colors, he insists, were chosen to replicate the venomous coral snake. The mascot reflected Chambers' appreciation of Mexican bandits.
Well, the character came from